everyone. So because of all the press we're about to get, it's about to get crazy. Just warning you now, I want this to be where people turn to get it from the horse's mouth as such without offending myself. So people have got the exact timeline of events before the press or stuff gets lifted. So like last week in the Daily Mail, that then got lifted from into the Mirror and then in across America, Australia and so on. And then my original piece of the Mirror got lifted by the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Star, the Metro, the New York Post, Fox News, the Inquisitor, something in Spanish I didn't read, Colombian Times, what have you. So stuff gets lifted, and when stuff gets lifted, stuff gets changed. So I want to know that everyone has got my entire story, and facts are correct for any press as well, because I don't want you getting it wrong. Because press, when you get stuff wrong for cancer patients, you can kill them. And you don't want that on your hands because you've made a mistake and you've misadvised people. So, where to begin? How do we know we had a brain tumour? Obviously, you've got all the videos on there, finding out I've got a brain tumour and so on, how I handled my first diagnosis. I hope they've helped some people. I've had quite a lot of messages over them for the last 5 years. And then I never got round to doing any more because we were just so caught up in scans and life, stress and crap and just trying to be a survivor, and it sucks. Every 6 months wondering if your cancer's back. It's horrible. But I tell you, scanxiety is a real thing. And those first few years, I would have probably 1 month after a clear scan where I was like, yes, let's celebrate, we're clear. And then the doubt starts to slip in. Okay, it might be coming back now. The next month, okay, it's sort of back. That 4th month, you're like, I can't wait. I've got 2 months to my scan. It's horrible. That 5th month, you're just stressed, can't sleep. It's called scanxiety, and everyone has it. And this is how it's been for me. And then that last month before the scan, you're just a mentalist. You can't cope. So really, you get 2 good months every 6 months where you're like, yes. And then you're just worried again. But I tell you what, when I knew my cancer came back, scanxiety went. When I was clear, I got so upset every 6 months for those 5 years, which I thought was clear. I was not. Mistakes, whatever. Because the T2 flare was showing when the tumour wasn't, which I'll get to in a minute. But I just had such a great 5 years, you know, even though it was all that scanxiety, I realised now actually it was still great. I was still happy and it was still amazing being clear. Because life's been a bit destroyed since it's been back, but we're clearing it. So, 2012, I'm about to celebrate my 30th birthday. I've got the Bellagio booked in Vegas with my friends. Then I get a headache, and then my neck goes really stiff, and because I've got some medical training in the past, I'm like, meningitis, it's what I need before my birthday in Vegas. So I'm like, went to the doctors and said, I think I've got meningitis, because that's what I do, I diagnose myself everything. And they're like, actually, this does sound like meningitis, we want you to come back tomorrow. And just before my appointment that next morning, I got in the bath, and I had a rash all over my body. It was heat rash. But I did the glass thing, and it was like, oh, okay. So I rang the doctor saying, do you think I should go to A&E instead? And they said, yeah, we're going to book you in. Gets to A&E, they're like, oh, meningitis. And then the light hurts my eyes. I can't see anymore. And I'm so feverish and sick with fever that they're like, meningitis. So they start me on antibacterial and antiviral antibiotics. I've got 2 drips in, literally. I've got drips attached to every vein of mine. I hid in the toilet. It was horrible. I just kept pulling them out because it was awful. And I couldn't get any lumbar punctures. I was bent over a desk. This woman jabbing in my spine, and my legs were twitching and the pain. Don't know what she did, but she couldn't get any. And then I locked myself in the toilet again. I do that a lot. Try to escape. They don't let you out. And then another doctor was like, can I try? And I was like, I don't trust you. And I'm literally like that. And then I'm like, have you done the anaesthetic yet? And he's like, I've got 3 vials. I'm like, what the bloody hell didn't you give me in the first place? Anyway, rabbiting on. So, they then confirmed it wasn't meningitis. They sent me for a CT scan. And then they obviously say you got a mass on the brain, and we've done the videos on that. It was devastating. Living in LA, loving your life, just to be told a week before your 30th birthday, you're going to be dead. We didn't know it was cancerous, and had they said what my brain tumour was then, I wouldn't have survived like I did. I was lucky. Because we found out I had a brain tumour. I then had it taken out. No biopsies. I was like, just get rid of it. Just do it all in one. Literally 2 months later. And then I found out it's cancerous. And then I found out how bloody aggressive it was. And then they wanted me to have chemo and everything. So, because I dealt with it in stages, if they'd have turned around and said, you've got a 1 out of 10 chance of living 5 years, you're going to die of this, I couldn't have thought like that. Mindset is everything. And I came home and I got so much better, and I refused chemo and radio. 5 years. They said 1 out of 10 chance of living 5 years. And it was last October, and I had my scan in June, and I was told it was clear. Because they were checking the tumour scan, but they did not check the flare scan, the T2 flare on the MRI. So before a tumour is formed, liquid, I say it's edema personally. Some neurosurgeons don't, but to me a liquid in the brain is edema. You can get it from pressure, climbing, scuba, if you go deep enough. So I do 30 metres. But edema in the brain is possible. Now my edema contained cancer cells, but unless you drill into my brain and actually take out this edema, you can't know the cancer cells. So for me, I was like, I've got a flare. What's a bloody flare? You go on Google and you Google flare, there's nothing. And I've had 5 different neurosurgeons tell me 5 different things. So my understanding of a flare, from all this information, is when your cancer wants to come back, it starts to, in your brain,